Alright, this video is going to be about the strongest evidence for no God. No longer is the universe fine-tuned argument. That's gone, since we found already 10,000 exoplanets that resemble Earth and habitable in the Goldilocks zone. Bob Lazar says that the aliens genetically altered us 65 times. And the universe can, as Stephen Hawking says, create itself out of nothing with the laws. So we are extraterrestrials ourselves. After 65 times altered, we became human. We're just a different form of extraterrestrial, since there's so many different extraterrestrials. And absolutely there will be life on these exoplanets that resemble Earth in a habitable zone. Absolutely have life, different form of species. So the universe out of nothing, Lawrence Krauss, Stephen Hawking says the universe can create itself out of nothing with the laws. It seems like extraterrestrials had a lot to do with existence in total. I don't think there was one starting point. I think there was, well, if you'll call it a starting point, but it's a starting point that spread into multiple different ways. Not like a one starting point and then another starting point. It's like one starting point that spread into multiple things. Multiple things happened. Not really considered a one single starting point. So it was extraterrestrials all along. So now we found out we've been altered 65 times. Just imagine our DNA, our genetic code, how many times that's been altered. Even Anthony Flew said himself, and Richard Dawkins, that there had to be some extraterrestrial, some kind of extraterrestrial influence. Bingo. Absolutely. It's things we can't understand or comprehend. Nobody would have even thought that we've been altered 65 times. Their explanation is God for all existence, because the answer is so complex, so freaky. So, we know a lot of things that I could make a theory, the most powerful theory. We just know this now. Just imagine here's what we're going to know. So 1, Stephen Hawking says the universe can create itself out of nothing with the laws. So these extraterrestrials had influence, or the universe itself made the laws. 2, the universe out of nothing with Lawrence Krauss. 3, the no longer fine-tuning of the universe. We could have landed panspermia. We could have landed anywhere. We just happened to land on Earth. And I think we probably transfers to a lot of different places. For the outside in space is total chaos. Things popping out of existence, asteroids, comets, meteors. So, for our universe, time or itself, space, wasn't started until after the Big Bang. That's for our universe. But there's multiple Big Bangs prior. Things expand, collapse. And probably a billion years from now there'll be another, or a million years from now there'll be another Big Bang. 4 billion years, where scientists predict that, I believe, I don't know if it's 13.7, that's 12 billion years, but some kind of billion years that the universe, or everything, will die. And that's from extreme cold, not hot, extreme cold. Everything would be dead. So now it's getting stronger than ever. Stronger than ever. The more evidence we get that the God gap is decreasing all the way to non-existence. Just now. This is probably the most powerful evidence of no God. And even years from now, there'll be even more powerful evidence. There's just no, the sky doesn't open up, and there's no deity hanging all around it, space controlling things. That's a super easy answer to God. Maybe God did it all. But if you think about reality, it's not like that. Therefore, no gods. Like I said, it's very hard to comprehend. Nobody could have thought, till Abam Salazar said, that we've been altered 65 times into our present selves. Technically, everything is extraterrestrial. We are extraterrestrial. Now, this is where the mystery goes further. Why were we altered? You know? And of course, obviously, when we visit these planets, species can either show us they definitely know something. Obviously, they know something. It's the strongest evidence ever. And who knows if our DNA was altered too? If we were altered 65 times, it's possible. I don't know. Maybe we were different. Maybe we actually 65 times been altered. Maybe we actually looked like an alien too. The question is, why were we altered? This is where we're going to find out more into the future, of course. So yeah, there's no God up there. The sky doesn't open, just hanging around and doing things. Because space is chaos. Things popping out of existence. Comets hurling, asteroids hurling. I don't think people should feel bad that there's no God. Because if you're strong and you understand how everything works, if you really want to know the reality, instead of pretending, it's like pretending everything's going to be okay, in a different circumstance, and things are not okay, whatever circumstance it was. You're making stuff to make it okay, but you have to face reality. And the reality is of what is reality. So yes, extraterrestrial had a lot of influence in us. I think in our DNA, our brains, and then we came to cells. And that's why we know things. That's why we know reality. So in essence, there's probably extraterrestrials on these other exoplanets that resemble, that probably maybe look like actually us. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I really thought about this, and for all the evidence I gathered, no matter what, it's impossible for any gods to exist because of their so supernatural ridiculousness. Of course, aliens always be plausible, and not only that, because obviously, different planets, different species. That's just the way it is. So, I don't think people should be sad there's no God. I think they should embrace reality and learn about the unknown. That makes it worthwhile. It's like I think Sam Harris says, when you die, people want to believe there's heaven, but if you want to believe, it doesn't make it true. Ultimately, you always have to face the reality. You have to face facts. There's no heaven, there's no hell. It's just you die, and then you die. And even if extraterrestrial has influence, I don't think there's like an extraterrestrial God. I don't think there's any God. Whether it's extraterrestrials, gods, or... So yeah, the universe can create itself out of nothing, like Stephen Hawking says, and in a universe from nothing, Lawrence Krauss. If you think about it, if you really think about it, you've kind of solved the mystery already. Of course, there's a lot, but if you really think about it, well, for what I learned, the big mystery, that we've been genetically altered 65 times. And of course, why that is, that's a good question. It's going to be, stay tuned for more answers. I think, obviously, probably, there was some kind of history, like we have history on Earth, history on these exoplanets, where probably different aliens, probably wanted to take over and fought, and who knows, these ancient aliens, not only that, if you think about it, there's always, in hieroglyphics in Egypt that, and of course the Roswell crash in Mexico, 1945, the alien drawings. So they did come at one point to Earth. This is where it gets really interesting. So, if we learned how we developed, and that there was extraterrestrial influence in our development of like brains and stuff in our pride body. I mean, we didn't come from aliens, but they definitely have some kind of influence. So that's good. We know that. And then, of course, the universe can create itself out of nothing, the universe from nothing. So this just leaves why we're altered in a bigger mystery. Going to the exoplanets and finding out more about these species, and they probably have technology and elements that we actually probably could time travel, and go through wormholes, and probably we can gather this negative and actually create wormholes. So we're in 2014. I think 5 years we'll definitely learn a hell of a lot more, and probably by like 2030 and 2050, we'll probably